General Hospital Willow returns home to Drew, a hooker and a major scandal. Willow arrives home, calls Drew on her phone, and says there are reporters camped outside and to call her back. Willow then finds a woman's black shoe on the floor. Willow makes her way into the bedroom. Drew is out cold in the bed, and Jacinda, in his dress shirt, says, "Didn't your mother teach you to knock?" Willow states this is her bedroom. Jacinda explains that Drew said she was out of town, and not to be too hard on him, as men often need to let off steam. Jacinda takes off. Willow slams the door, causing Drew to stir awake. He doesn't know what happened. She cries, "Your date just left. I can't believe you'd do this to me." Willow runs out as Drew screams after her, while grabbing his head in pain. Kai checks in. At General Hospital, Kai meets up with Trina and assumed Drew would be here. Trina guesses that he's not feeling great this morning, especially with what's in the papers. Felicia takes Kai to fill out some paperwork and get him set up. Kai is moved into a room, and Felicia brings up the documentary crew outside his room. Kai explains that Drew wanted to document this for other people and to give them hope, but he thought Drew would be here for this. Felicia says if he needs privacy, she can handle them. Later, Trina arrives and says there is no word on Drew. She asks if he still wants to go on with the documentary. Curtis and Laura celebrate. Curtis meets with Laura in her office, and they discuss the news splashed everywhere about Drew. Curtis explains Aurora held back, but will publish a story later, but he didn't want to rile Drew anymore, given their history. They laugh over the fact that even Ezra is distancing himself from Drew, and their Drew problems may be over. Laura says she misses the days when politics was about the issues, but Drew hasn't done anything to improve the lives of any of his constituents. All he's done is fight with people. Curtis says this stunt shows his constituents that Drew is out of control and self-serving. Curtis notes that Kai's surgery is today, so he's going to the hospital to wait with Trina. Curtis says Laura should be in a better position with the referendum, and Drew may be out of Congress very soon. Lulu interviews her mom. Lulu meets with Alexis in her office and says she'd love to talk to her about adoption for her piece. Alexis says she'll have to reschedule as she needs to protect Scout from her father right now. Lulu feels bad about the story, but others were filming him too. Alexis understands it as her job. Lulu says Drew was very drunk. Alexis calls his behavior out of character. Lulu explains Drew wasn't just tipsy, he was out of control. Alexis says Drew's constituents deserve to know how he really behaves, and she needs to get to Scout. Lulu heads to her mom's office and says her story is going well, but she'd like to interview her mom. Laura was expecting this. Lulu says she is shielding her sources by not using real names. Lulu notes her mom never talks about her adoption. Laura says that's because she wasn't adopted. She was switched in the hospital and had two families. Lulu asks what it was like when Grandma Leslie entered her life.